And today we have Marta Spirk, who was on television this morning, and she proves that she actually knows what she's doing when she helps you get publicity.
Yes.
Welcome, Marta.
Thank you. I'm so excited for us to chat today.
When did we met a couple years ago at Gary Barnes' event?
We did. I believe the first time was it January 2021 when I went to my first in-person boot camp.
Okay. And I've been
Yes.
following you online. Boy, you are an excellent marketer. You're just everywhere.
Thank you.
So for those that don't know you, tell us what you do. Who do you help? And
Of course. So I'm an empowerment coach and marketing strategist, and I help women increase visibility, credibility, and profit, get them to stand out on social media, get them on stage, become an in-demand speaker, and also land a TEDx talk if that's something that they want to do, get on TV, more podcasts, pretty much make themselves known out there.
you actually practice what you preach.
I
This is
really
awesome.
do.
It's awesome. There's so many imposters out there these days.
That's true.
And we got some people. Look at this. We got people chatting on LinkedIn already.
Yay! Make themselves known out there.
Hold on.
Actually practice what
Uh-oh, hold on.
I really.
There we go. The other video just came on the other screen.
No worries.
So how do you said in order to be yourself, you get to know yourself.
That's right.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So, quick backstory. I have almost 7-year-old triplets. And this business that I own right now started after having them. That's when I realized I didn't want to keep doing what I was doing. I have 2 degrees in languages. I'm a certified court interpreter. So I do lots of stuff, teaching, translating, interpreting. But I knew I wanted to do something different. And also the responsibility of raising 3 kids at the same time, first time parent. It was a lot of pressure. It created lots of confusion and overwhelm. And one of the things that really helped me find my path was understanding who I am. Understanding that the desires that I have are not there by chance. They have to do with my personality and they have to do with my purpose.
Mhm.
And then I started realizing that many people struggled with the same things that I did. They didn't really know who they were. And therefore they struggled in understanding, what do I really want to do? What kind of job do I want? What kind of business do I want? And they were just, looking for information outside themselves. And that usually led to frustration. I feel like we've all done that. And I reached this point where I was like, no, these answers have to be inside of me somewhere, and I am going to find them. And it's in understanding more personality types. And I've used several different tools and assessments for that I've been able not only to find this path for me, but to guide my clients and women to then understand that who they are is enough and it's amazing and it's unique. And that's what they get to leverage.
Yeah, I've done so many of those assessments too. And it's like, okay, I'm still trying to figure this out.
Yeah, it's an ongoing journey for sure.
But I find if I just be myself, when I first started learning marketing, I said, well, create this fictitious character and step into that. I was like, wait, it's me. You're trying to work with me, not this fake person.
Exactly. Have to be.
Yeah. That works. I can't imagine having triplets and just being shocked. I remember our first single child.
Yeah. It's been quite the trip, but I have to say, what is it? Napoleon Hill's quote that says, the bigger the challenge, the bigger the seed for opportunity for something great. And I feel like they have been one of the biggest challenges in my life, like that huge turning point, but they have been the huge catalyst and the huge, lessons that keep on giving for sure as they grow.
Yeah, times 3. So you also say get to know your audience and create relevant content. So obviously you work with women.
Yes. Yeah. So, and many of them are moms, but not all of them are moms. So when I first started my business, fun fact, my podcast and what is still the name of my LLC is called Mom Does It All. And it was geared towards moms and helping moms understand that if they had the desire of doing something outside of motherhood, that was okay. You get to do it all. You get to do whatever you want. You can have it all if you want to, but not to put pressure on them to try to do everything if they're feeling overwhelmed. And that's why eventually I started the Empowered Woman brand because lots of women who were not moms and who do not want to be moms started following me and resonating with my message. And at the end of the day, I realized I didn't want to label just moms because even though you are a mom, you are other things too. You are more than that, right? And so I've been supporting women in general to become empowered in doing what it is that they want to do and finding that path.
Yeah. Okay, when I was learning marketing, I teach you create that persona, your ideal customer, who you want to work with.
Yeah.
And I did that for years, and I create this detailed person or
Hmm.
people. But it turns out in the last few months, I've realized that's not really who I work with.
Mm.
I made that up that, they have a lot of money and they want to work with me, but they didn't have the problems I solve.
Mm.
I've kind of flipped it around for myself lately. It's like, well, think about your clients you have now. What
Hmm.
problems do you solve or you like to solve? And find those people with those problems.
Yeah. No, that is true, and I think the whole avatar, right, which is sort of what you just described, the whole methodology or technique or whatever of
Yeah.
creating that avatar, it's become a little outdated, and it may be helpful for some, but I have noticed in my work that for some it limits them, and then they get stuck because they can't figure out that avatar. I don't know what her name is. I don't know what magazine she reads. Therefore, I don't know what I'm doing, and then they just crawl in a hole and don't market their business.
Right.
I've decided I don't want to, if that's keeping me stuck, then there has to be a different path. If it's working for people, awesome. But it wasn't. And that's when I started going more towards the personality types and creating my marketing based on those personality characteristics. The people that are more cautious, that don't take as many risks. How can I create content that will make them feel safe to invest in my programs and to, put faith in my work? And then there are more people that are more analytical that need details. How can I cater to those people? And then there are the people that are super impulsive that just want to be excited about stuff, and that'll be enough for them. How do
Right.
I create content in that sense too?
Yeah. So I've been watching your marketing and your social media posts, and you're just putting yourself out there.
That's
I don't feel like you're trying to attract any specific people. You're just being yourself and sharing your life,
mhm.
and you're attracting the right people you want to work with.
Exactly. And it's just back to what we were saying, being who you are. And many people don't know who that is because they feel like they need to create that persona or be something that's going to be more acceptable. But
Yeah.
it's actually the opposite, right? And it may be at times a little longer of a route. And I think because you don't know who you are. So it's you finding yourself and putting that out there instead of faking something. Um, Whereas if other people, marketing coaches are telling you, pretend to be this way and you're going to start making money. If it's an easier return, people are more inclined to go that route because we want fast, quick wins. But really, it's not the sustainable way. I mean, if you just continue being yourself, then that should be easy in the long run.
Yeah. You're going to build a long-term business, attract long-term clients.
Exactly.
It's so much easier to be yourself than to fake someone. I don't know,
Right.
maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, you talk about your uniqueness. How do people figure out and what makes them unique? I talk to people all the time. I said, "Why is your business different than your competitors?" And they just can't answer the question.
Right. Well, and I think you made a great point in revisiting your current clients. I feel like that is a great way to start, is asking those people that already trust you, that have already invested in you, that would be willing to say yes to you again because they already said yes. What is it that's different? What attracted them? What made them take the leap? And I think a big part of business is getting repeat business and being willing to ask for testimonials, because sometimes people can describe you in a better way that you can describe yourself. So they
Hmm.
will say, "You did this." And you're like, "I did? I didn't even know that I did that." you know, so that's what you get to leverage. And then in your content say, I help clients feel this way because that's what somebody just said. And chances are somebody else out there is going to be like, I want to feel that way too, or I want help in that capacity too. And they may be attracted to that. But then obviously, the other thing too is understanding more about your personality and the different tools that I've used, such as the Enneagram. I have my own personality quiz too, which is a spinoff of that. I've been doing lots of work with human design as well. And that has been huge in helping me understand, wow, this is why I respond to situations this way. This is why I think this way. And it's so different from other people.
Yeah, you're unique. We're all unique.
We are.
Yeah, the testimonials. I have a hard time talking about myself and writing them. I heard a quote where you say something like, if you talk about yourself, if you say it, it's bragging. If someone else says it's credibility.
Yes, that is so true. And we
Yeah.
have to be willing to ask for that because I feel like more often than not, people are willing to give testimonials than we anticipate and finding ways of making that easier. Because if you're just going to ask somebody, write me a huge letter about why I'm amazing, that's pushing it as opposed to give them very specific questions and say, if you answer it in one line, I will put it together and I'll come up with something and then send it to you for approval. Make their lives easier so that you can actually get it out from them because people are busy, right? So come up with a system.
Right. Yeah. And that's a lot of people say, just write it for me and I'll edit it.
Yeah, exactly. Make it easier for them.
Yeah. One person I worked with, one of my mentors, Alex Mondosian, he has hundreds of video testimonials on his website. And the way he does it, he just says after you work with him, he sends you a note. He says, hey, schedule 5 minutes with Sandra, my assistant, and she's going to ask you these 3 questions. And it's basically these video testimonials in literally less than 5 minutes.
There you go.
He
Instead
has a
of
system.
relying on them on their own time and having to hunt them down. Yeah, that's smart. I like that
Yeah.
strategy.
5-minute call. And here are
Right.
the questions you're going to ask.
Yeah, that's smart.
So tell me about your brand. You have a really strong personal brand. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah,
It's
so
really
like
good.
I said, I have shifted in the last it's been almost 3 years now, pretty much 3 years that I shifted to the empowered woman and the focus of that really is helping women understand that they already are the empowered woman and really bring her out. And how do you do that, right? It's really by figuring out your desires, your inclinations, and then honoring that and going after that. And one of the things that I've realized about myself, again, going that self assessment route, is that I am not a persistent person. This is part of my calling. Persistence is part of my calling. In my wedding vows, I remember that the very first sentence that my husband said was, Marta, your persistence never ceases to amaze me. And it's true. It's been with me for forever. And this is what I'm really good at, right? I'm really good at being persistent for my own goals and helping people get that persistence inside themselves. And I feel like that's what makes us empowered is you know what you want and then you go for it. And it may not happen overnight, uh,
Right.
but you understand that it's continuing on that path that is going to get you there. And it may look completely different from what you envisioned on day one, but that is okay because things evolve with time and you grow and you mature. Um, and it's really been a reflection of my own journey and in seeing that I'm not alone in this quest for figuring out my calling and doing the things, the desires that we have as kids, the things that we thought of, it's just a dream. Now we're grown-ups, right? We have
Yeah.
bank accounts, we have cars, we have cell phones. We can talk to people, we can send messages, we can figure things out. So, what are we doing if we're not going after the things that we want, right? And
Yeah.
like I said, it may not be overnight, but you know people that know people that know people. So, get to talking, get to making relationships, and you're going to make your dreams come true.
Right. And it does start with that internal work. And years ago, I thought, what's your purpose and all that? I thought
Yeah.
that was so corny. But as I became a coach and studied all this like you, it's like
Mhm.
it's so important to be confident and know who you are because you project that out.
Yeah. It
Like
really is.
I see you talking on LinkedIn, on videos online, and all the content you put out. You tell you know exactly who you are, and you're very confident.
Mhm. And that comes with time too. Just over the weekend, because Facebook shows memories of past posts, a post showed up of my very first Facebook Live 6 years ago. So, November 2016, when my triplets were 9 months old, is when I started my business with network marketing. And I made my first video telling people, hey, I've been making all these posts talking about these things. I figured I would go live and expand on it and tell you what it is that I'm up to. And I sounded like a baby. I sounded like a 15-year-old fresh out of not even high school
Yeah.
and not knowing what I was doing, but I started it. I'm so proud of her because now I get to look at myself and see it didn't happen overnight. I did so many different lives. I talked to so many different people. And I wouldn't have said that then, that it's okay that it took me 6 years, but now
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, 6 years, what are 6 years, in the grand scheme of things? Look at all the things that I've learned, to get to this point, really embracing the journey and not focusing so much on the destination.
Yeah, don't be so critical of yourself. I remember writing my first emails 20 years ago. It's like I was afraid to send it. It was so embarrassing.
I know, reading it 1,000 times and it's like, who cares? After 2 minutes, people are gonna forget, if there was a typo or whatever it was, and people carry on with their lives, and gotta be able to show ourselves some compassion.
Yeah, just get out there, write emails, write articles, do video. Your
Yeah,
first one's gonna be horrible, and
yeah,
chances are nobody's gonna see it.
right, exactly. That's one of the things one of my mentors says, "If it doesn't suck the first time you do something, you did something wrong."
Right.
Right? It's supposed to not be perfect and great the first time, and that's how you grow and learn.
Who are some mentors that had a huge impact on you?
Oh my goodness. I have 2 media mentors that have really pushed me in this path of visibility. I started working with them in 2019. Christina Nicholson, she's in Florida, and Lisa Simone Richards is in Canada. And I started working with them because I wanted more visibility to make more sales, yada yada. But it was with them that I understood how to position myself, my angle, to get more visibility. And it was with them that I actually got honest with myself about what I wanted. I remember one of them said, "So, what do you want?" And then I said, "I want to be on TV." And they were like, "Okay, well, let's find something that'll get you there sooner than later," right? Because if you're wanting to be super specific about how something happens, then that can get in your way, as opposed to let's find something that will be really easy for them to pick. And it took a couple of times and a couple of months. And then I
Sure.
got picked up, and I'm so grateful for their guidance, in that sense. And then obviously, Gary Barnes, who is been just an angel. I like to say that he's like my dad. He's my business dad because my dad is in Brazil. So Gary is my American father.
Yeah.
And it's been, oh my gosh, he really helped me see myself for who I am, right? And that uniqueness. Just having him as a mirror and reflecting back what he would see that I couldn't see in myself, and reassuring me, of reaffirming me, and obviously with all of his wisdom and advice. My gosh, the huge growth that I experienced in the last 2 years, I attribute greatly to his guidance for sure.
Yeah, you need a second set of eyes or mentors, people to bounce ideas off of. Because if we create it ourselves, we got the tunnel vision and you think it's great and nobody understands what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah. No, you have to have support and other people to bounce ideas off of, and guidance. And I think most importantly, people that teach you to listen to yourself. Because there's lots of mentors that want to create a codependent relationship. And that's something that in my years of experience now I can say it happens a lot in the industry too. People that want you to depend on them to continue growing. And that should not be the case. Coaches and mentors, they should want to see you graduate and see you outgrow them and move on to the next step. And
Mhm.
I'm very grateful to have surrounded myself with people that are like that.
Yeah. So this morning you were on television in Denver with one of your
Yes.
clients. Tell us
Yes.
how that happened, what that
Oh
was
my
all
gosh.
about.
I've been a little emotional, I have to confess, ever since then, because this is a huge step for me, Ted. Like I said, I am very persistent. I am very competitive. And the reason why I have gone into women empowerment, and I say this, and I think people get surprised, and I hope they do, is not because empowerment women has come naturally to me. It's actually been the opposite. Because I'm very competitive, it's hard. It's been a journey in the last few years of not seeing other people's success as a threat to me. It's like if you have a lot, then that means I can't, right? If you're doing, I haven't. It's been a road for me to see if they're doing it, it's a possibility for me. You know, and then to get to the point where I get to model that for other people as well. And I was telling my client today, I was like, You think I'm helping you? You don't understand how much you've helped me, by being on this road with me, because it's me releasing some control here. It's me surrendering by saying, I trust that it's okay for me to bring somebody else with me. And that's not going to steal my thunder. In fact, that fuels my thunder
Right.
even more, and understanding that helping people up, it doesn't take away from your value, it increases your value, it adds to your credibility. And as I get more into this line of helping women with speaking and landing these opportunities, I know that this speaks directly to the work that they are doing with me. Because when I do work with helping people with social media content. I can't take credit for whatever it is that happens, right? I mean, I give them ideas, they create their captions, they put the work. There's so many other variables that go into that, as
Yeah.
opposed to I help you craft a pitch and you get on TV. That speaks directly to the work that we did together. And so I started thinking, my gosh. So in helping these women in these opportunities, I'm actually helping myself more than ever I could have in my business. And this is how it's supposed to be, you know?
Right.
So it's been such a huge realization for me. And just this past weekend, I had 4 of my clients volunteer to the same TEDx event that I spoke at earlier this year. And so all of the tips and tricks that I've been sharing with women the last several months, they've been taken to heart and they've been doing things. And so now I get to be kind of like the mentor that I always wish I had, that would take me on. My gosh, I would have loved to have had a local person that said, "Hey, I'm going on TV tomorrow. Do you want to come with me?" You know, that would be a dream, but it didn't happen like that. You know,
Right.
I hired people that helped me and I sent the pitches and I waited and I waited, and but now I get to be that person for other women. And I cannot describe how incredible that feels. It's a little bit like scary at times because I'm just starting into this.
Yeah.
It's like I'm really feeling like that's one of the things that Gary says. I'm feeling like my kids now because I want to see my kids succeed. I want to see my kids rise to the top. And in no way is that going to mean that I am less. It actually means that I'm more because they're
Right.
my kids, you know? So it's been a different path, I think, like a different level, I guess I should say, in my path, in being in a position where I get to leverage my context, my influence, who I am, to help these women that wouldn't have been able to get to these places otherwise. But yeah, what we did was we crafted this pitch together. I actually told her, I said, instead of me helping you craft a pitch to send to them, why don't we do it together? And I will send it and say, I want to bring um, fellow life coach with me. And they took it and she was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? And I said, let's do this. And it was an amazing experience. And I'm so grateful.
Congratulations. It's awesome. There's nothing better when you're coaching someone and they actually do work with you and it comes to realization and they have the breakthrough and you have the breakthrough. And
I know. It's just a beautiful cycle of many things. And I know the more I grow, I've been noticing this, the different types of people that I've been attracting. Like you were talking about, being yourself and attracting, like at times we get mad at clients. Why is this person this way? And it's like, well, that's because that's who you are. That's who you're attracting. Those are the vibes that you're sending.
yeah.
And more, I've been amazed. I'm like honored. You're hiring me. Wow, who am I? And this is how it's supposed to be, right? Because they see that value in you, and then you don't feel like it's such a drag to work with that person. Oh, but they paid me, so now I have to. It's like I would do this for free, because you're so amazing, and I love being with you.
Those are the kind of clients we all want.
I know that's the dream, right? So
Yeah.
and that's been happening to me more and more, and I know that's a reflection of my own personal growth for sure.
Yeah. Great. Well, you have a little gift for everybody today, right? We have,
Ew.
there it is.
Yay. Yeah. So, for those of you who are watching me and want to get on TV, want to get on TEDx, want to land more speaking engagements, really, if you've had this vision of being in front of people, back to like the childhood dreams, right? I was the person that saw myself on stage from a young age, and many of us have had that dream, but it seems like, silly. You're just a small child. But like I said, you're an adult now. And you most likely have a business if you're watching, and you have an amazing message to share. And guess what? Outlets, stages, they need speakers. Otherwise, there are no events, right?
Right.
Why not you? And this is what I talk about in this masterclass. It's called 5 Steps to Becoming a Sought After Speaker and Personality. You get to be famous. I feel like there's some shame at times in saying, I want to be famous, because it's like, why? Are you being self centered? And it's like, no, I want people to know my name because I have value to bring. And that's me owning my own worth, and sharing my message. So if you've had these dreams, I give you the permission slip to accept them and to chase after them. And I will give you 5 steps to get started.
That's awesome. I highly recommend getting on your email list too. You have great emails. Yeah, awesome.
Yay. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying them. And I'm enjoying yours too.
Yeah. I have fun writing them, and I can tell you have fun writing yours too.
I do. It's a fun conversation. I've done social media for so long, but in the last couple of years, I've gotten a lot more return and feedback from my from the people in my mailing list, and it feels so much more personable when they respond and they're like, "This resonated with me today." Period. That's it. Like that feels so much more fulfilling than a like.
Yeah, if they would reply and tell you something, or I enjoyed this, it's better than the open rates and all those technical terms we're looking for.
Right. Yeah. No, it's great.
It's awesome. Well, let's look and see. Chris Burrow wants to know, where's your email? I don't see it here. So you can
Yeah.
just go to the website and have a contact form.
Yeah, I have a contact form, or you can email me at contact@martaspirk.com. And if you sign up for the masterclass, you'll have access to my email as well.
Yep. And Chris says, let's see. I worked with Chris years ago. He's got a lot of comments in here. He has a lot of money. He worked with me. You're the best. You're tracking
Great
triplets.
testimonials there.
Yeah,
For
perfect.
you.
I think that's all the questions we have. But Marta, thank you so much for your time. This has been great.
Thank you. It's been super great. I appreciate the invitation, and I love what you're doing with LinkedIn, by the way, too. So
And
thanks for having me.
congratulations on your success. It's great watching you just take off here.
Yay! Yeah, there's more to come. It's just the beginning.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.